journey started back in January. The goal was to make it right here at the MGM Grand Garden for the 2003 Pace Pecani Pro Rodeo Tour Finale. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Metters. With me, world champion bull rider Cody Snyder. No surprise as we get into we're going to talk about two guys that we talked a lot about this winter, this spring, in bareback riding. That guy is Tom McFarland.
Yeah, how about the great young cowboy out of Morristown, Arizona? Number 2 in the world coming in here, number 1 in these standings. And this kid was only 72 points last night, but he's got a horse called Dippin' Dodge Hills from the Barnes Bucking String tonight. This is the horse that young Will Lowe broke the arena record in Houston with 90 points. Tom McFarland's got a real chance.
In bull riding, no surprise in round 1, only 3 guys covered their bulls. One of those guys, Terry Don West, who's number 1 in the world.
You can never count this guy out. He's got a bull called Werewolf out of the Flying U Bucking String. This bull is unridden. Look for some big things out of Terry Don tonight.
Here are the results from round number 1. Pete Hawkins on top with an 87. We had 7 guys score in the 80s.
Boy, good to see there Clint Corey in there, 91 world champ, and how about the 2-time world champ, Lon Lajeunesse.
The only disappointment there, Tom McFarland, number 1 in the Winter Tour standings, coming in with a 72. First guy for us here in round number 2, Forrest Bramwell, matched up with Dippin' O'Malley.
One of the good horses out of that Sammy Andrews Bucking String, and look at Forrest rearing back and setting his feet in the front end. Just an excellent spur ride.
Forrest Bramwell's a bareback rider that's really coming into his own. 2 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. 5'5", weighs all of 160 pounds, and here in round number 2 scores a 79. And there is 2-time world champion Lon Lajeunesse, and he really got along well with this horse, Haywire.
Horse out of that Corco Bucking String out of South Dakota, and Lan, another, just, God, these guys are putting the spur rides on these horses here tonight. That's why we got those big scores.
Hard to believe that he missed the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo last year, finished 16th in the world standings, back strong though in 2003.
Well, I'll tell you what, the new 75 rodeo rule, that really fits into his game plan, and I'll tell you, Lon Lajeunesse, this guy will be tough all year long.
85 for Lan in this go-around. He had a 76 in round 1, an 85 here, a total of 161 on 2. That helps. It's the total after 2 rounds. That's what earns you a spot into the semifinals. For the aftermath, Lan is with Jennifer Smith.
Lan, after last night's ride, you really needed a high-scoring ride today, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I had a horse kind of fail me just a little last night and kind of put me behind the pack, and I needed to be a bunch of points today to make it in tomorrow. And everybody's riding so great, I still might not make it. It's looking tough today.
There's young Jason Havens. He's never been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. This is his first ever tour finale.
Boy, and his Lady Red Hawk dip turns back there to the left, and Jason just got an excellent ride going here, and he's upside down, and look at this, hung up in that bareback rigging, and see pickup man Flint Hempstead riding there to set him down, and that could have been a wreck, but Jason, I'll tell you, not a very high score, not what he needed.
78 points the score for Havens. And now to Clint Corey. Won the World Championship way back in 1992.
You can see when them horses come out of that Sankey Bucking String, you know they're born to buck, and Clint Corey not spurring the way he needs to and just gets the whistle. On his 41 years right there.
And half the score goes to the horse, half to the rider, and this bronc was ranked.
This is one of the brankest horses, I think, in my opinion, that we've seen all winter here. And I'll tell you, Clint just tries and grits it out. He gets the whistle, but that was it.
Kind of tossed around like a rag doll, and man, that's one of those that at Clint's age, that catches up with you the next day. Rewarded in the score, though, 85 the score for Clint Corey. He would make it back to the semifinals.
Yeah, you know, it's half on the ride and half on the stock. That was all the horse. Clint's with Jennifer.
Clint, Parlor Game wasn't sure which direction he wanted to go, was he?
Not really. You know, I had that horse here in the second round last year, and I was 87 points on him last year. About the same kind of trip, just a little bit straighter last year. This year, like you said, he was kind of going everywhere, but a little hard to track, but what a great horse.
And there's young Tom McFarland, 72, last in the first round. He needed to be big here, and he was, with a little help from Dodge Hills.
Boy, look at Tom going for it here, rearing back. And you cannot make a better spur ride than that. This little buckskin horse, like we said in the opening, we've seen a lot of big scores out of this horse this year, and I'm telling you, you're going to see a big score right here.
Tom just kind of power slides in there. Rides like this is one of the reasons why he's been at or near the top of the Jack Daniel World standings all year.
Look at this horse just dropping in that front end, and Tom jerking his knees up as high as he can, exposing himself to the elements, and I'm telling you, that's as good as it gets.
And the score, yeah, it was huge. 87 for Tom McFarland. But would it be enough? Here's the wild man. Larry Sandvik now lives in Belfast, South Dakota. Dippin' Wise Guy was the horse.
Got the heels of those Justices up there, that first jump out of the chute. This horse kind of tailing off, circles back around here to the left, and Larry going for it. I'll tell you, that's the deal. These guys get to Las Vegas. They feel like they're at the Wrangler National Finals, and they're laying it all on the line here. See the pickup men. It's Flynn Hempstead and Jeff Shearer, the two of the best in the business, and Larry's happy with this.
10 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in his career, $1 million in career earnings. The score there in 82. We've reached the midway point of the bareback riding. When we come back, the conclusion will set the field for the semifinals. From the MGM Grand Garden Arena, round number 2 of the Pace Picani Pro Rodeo Tour Finale, presented by Las Vegas, is brought to you by Pace. Grab Southwest by the bottle. By Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a proud sponsor of the PRCA. By Coors Original, real Rocky Mountain beer. It's Guys Night Out. And by Wrangler, for the cowboy in you. So here are the leaders on 2 so far. Clint Corey on top, 166, but he really paid the price to get in that top spot. Now to Trey Fisher of Madisonville, Texas. Goldie Smokeless is the horse.
We talked about a lot of these new young guys. Will Lowe, Tom McFarland. Here's another one of them. Trey Fisher. He hasn't been to the Wrangler National Finals yet, but we're going to see him there this year, and this is going to be one of the guys to beat in the future of pro rodeo.
Finished 25th last year, his score 80 in round number 2. From Fisher, we moved to James Boudreau, grew up in Louisiana, now lives in Texas, matched up on this night with Born Free.
A lot of these horses we haven't seen before at any of the rodeos so far on the winter tour. But they brought the best horses in the business here for these guys to get on in Las Vegas, and they're showing you why they can get these big scores.
Talked about the young guns. Here's one of them, Will Lowe, Canyon, Texas. Jingle Bob is the horse from Rafter Age.
5'3" and 130 pounds is Will Lowe. He's got short legs and they're fast, but just 75 points wasn't enough tonight.
Needed just a little bit more. Here's Pete Hawkins. He won the first round with that 87.
Boy, when we look at these Birch Bucking horses, big, strong, rank paint horse, back and forth. And Pete just gets behind and never can get caught up. And it really reflects in his score.
Yeah, Mullen Hills has his way with Pete Hawkins, 71. Won the first round, didn't make it to the semis. Here's Darren Clark, the tough Australian.
Boy, and Stace Smith is putting together one of the most awesome pendant bucking horses and bulls in pro rodeo. And Darren Clark, the transplanted Aussie, turns his toes out, jerks his knees. He's tall for a bareback rider, 6'1", 185 pounds. And this guy's been one of the guys to beat for the last several years.
Scores an 81. And here's Mark Gomes on Dippin' Wildflower.
He's been a world champion and having fun here. And look at this wild horse just jumping and kicking. Flaxy mane, and Mark Gomes jerks his knees, and boy, fast feet. Good ride.
Tom McFarland was wild at 87. Mark Gomes 2 points better with an 89, and he leads the field into the semifinals. The total for Mark Gomes after 2 rounds, 171.
You know, and it doesn't matter. These scores are all thrown out. It's a clean slate for him to come back in the semifinals. So Will Lowe, he's still got a great chance.
A great one. And with our leader at the moment, here's Jennifer Smith.
Wow, Mark, Wildflower, unbelievable. She really has some moves. It seemed like she even got you into the fence a little bit at the end.
Yeah, she did. That's the 3rd time I've had that little mare, and she's outstanding every time. She belongs to Rafter H. Dale Hall Rodeo Company. And I talked to Shane Call today on the phone, and we were excited to draw up together, and things have always been good, and it worked out great here.
Mark Gomes with the victory lap, but in this format, just not much time to celebrate.
Well, that's right. You just got to come back tomorrow, and you got 2 of the rankest horses in the business to get on tomorrow and take a look at the world standings.
Jack Daniel world standings, Willow on top, 46,000 plus. All this money adds up for hopefully a trip back here in December for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Jennifer Smith has more.
The world champions of pro rodeo are decided here at the City of Lights. That's why all these cowboys want to rebook their reservations at the MGM, because Vegas is the place to be in December. It's 10 nights of extreme rodeo action at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Mega shopping at the world's largest Western gift show, Cowboy Christmas, and superstar entertainment every night of the week. It all happens here in Las Vegas, so be a part of the Wrangler National Finals experience at the Thomas & Mack Center. You can log on at www.PRORODEO.com. We'll see you in December.
It's all about the cup here at the Pace Pro Rodeo Tour finale, and when we come back, speed will be the name of the game. First in steer wrestling, then in team roping. Welcome back to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. We're here for the Pace Picani Pro Rodeo Tour finale. Jeff Metters along with world champion bull rider Cody Snyder, ready for steer wrestling, and this will be extremely fast.
Boy, these are the big men in rodeo. We call them the linebackers. They're big and they're fast. And there's a lot of money on the line here.
Rod Lyman winning the first round with that 3.7. Now here's what happened in round number 2. We started with Sean Mulligan from South Dakota.
Big red and white spotted steer, and an excellent run by Sean Mulligan. Ran him a little too far down the arena.
Brian Fields set from Conroe, Texas. 4 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Goes by the nickname Sleepy, and he's got his hands full here. Big, strong steer, 7'3". He's not fast enough.
No, not going to win you any money here. Now to Mike Garthwaite, who comes from Canada.
This guy's been knocking on the door to qualify for the Wrangler National Finals for the last couple of years. With runs like this, we'll see him there.
Yeah, getting faster, 4'3". Here's Todd Soon. They're lucky this guy doesn't weigh 230 pounds.
Half of the brother team is brother Randy, also one of the top bulldoggers in the world, and 4.9, great run.
Yeah, he was quick. Here's Sean Greenfield, comes from Oregon. First tour finale for him.
Riding that great horse owned by Greg and Curtis Cassidy. They call him Willie, and good run there.
Yeah, he was quick, 4.3. Now to Jeff Corbello, big guy from Louisiana.
See, this steer dog falls on him. You got to have the steer flat on his side with all 4 feet sticking straight out before the judge drops the flag, and he wasn't fast enough there.
Kenny Cofini, he was the Rookie of the Year last year.
Comes out of Oregon, and all kinds of problems here with this steer. This is not what you want to see. See there, got to get those legs all sticking out flat. 12-1, way too slow.
That is a killer in a round like this. Here is Curtis Cassidy, another Canadian steer wrestler.
Great second generation, just businessman move right there and gets him down in 5'8".
Joey Bell Jr., one of the top-ranked steer wrestlers in the world at the moment. Big guy, comes from New Jersey.
Yeah, big, 6'4", 240. I'll tell you what, when he gets a hold of them, they're going down.
6'4", that's how long it took Joey Bell to stop the clock. Now to Teddy Johnson, comes from the steer wrestling capital of the world, Chakota, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, all the greats come from there. Roy Duval, all the Duval family, and Oakberry, great steer wrestling country.
And a past world champion nodding his head there. Rope Myers won the world in 2001.
Oh, and look at him stick it on him for 4.4. Second generation. His dad Butch was a world champion.
And here is Rod Lyman. Won that first round awfully quick. Can he follow it up in round number 2?
This guy's always quick, and riding that good horse of his he calls Dylan, and Rod, another excellent run back to back.
So here are the guys that make it back for the clean slate semifinals. Rod Lyman leading the way. They're 8-3, and at the bottom, Mike Garthwaite at 12-1. And now with the co-winners of this round, here's Jennifer Smith.
Both of these guys needed super fast times today to even make it to the semifinal round tomorrow, and that's exactly what you did. You've kind of been struggling all year long to get there, haven't you?
Yeah, and today it just worked out good for both of us. We were talking earlier that both of us traveled together. We don't usually do too good at the same rodeos, and today it worked out good.
Now, you have had a super strong winter, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been great. This is the best year I've ever had, and
it just keeps rolling, and I hope it keeps rolling all the way on. So
Well, let's just bring it on tomorrow.
yeah, sounds good.
From steer wrestling, we get right into team roping. Here are the results from round number 1. Trine and Zancanella, the leaders with a 4-6. Only 2 teams managing to break that 5-second barrier.
Boy, a lot of great guys in there. Joe Beaver, the many-time world champ. Matt Tyler and Britt Buckus also in there.
And we start out with Jason Stewart and Mike Beers. These guys at the bottom of that list in round number 1, but they made up for it in round number 2.
When you talk about experience, Mike Beers, many times in national finals, world champ in a 4-flat, excellent run.
Wouldn't make it back to the semis, but they were smoking at 4 seconds flat. I love this team. Matt Tyler and Britt Buckus.
Boy, they've just gelled this year, been winning every time they nod for the gate. And another great run here.
Pretty aggressive there. Their time, 5.1. And that leads us to Joe Beaver with the head nod there, roping with Tom Bourne.
I'll tell you what, he used all 30 feet of that rope, and Tom Bourne, you can see here, misses his dally. Oh, that is not what Joe Beaver likes to see in no time.
Now to Speed and Rich. They've won 6 straight world championships.
On pace for a 7th, and I'm telling you, these guys do it right every time. Sticks it on them here. Excellent run.
Automatic, a time of 4.5. They would make it back to the semifinals. Now to Lance Brooks and Wayne Fulmer.
Gets him caught around the neck. Tough steer to handle, but boy, I'll tell you what, Wayne Fulmer slips in there and just sticks a good loop on him.
Pretty smooth, 5.5 was their time. Now to Tanner Bryson and Kirk Jones.
Slings it out there, turns him back. You can see in around the corner here. Slings it in and misses, but you got the option of going with another loop. Takes 3 loops and gets a time.
Now to Daniel Green and Corey Kuntz.
National finalists, you can see there though, 1 leg, that's a 5-second penalty, that hurts.
That does hurt, 9 and 6. T. Woolman and Patrick Smith on top of the winter tour standings, most of the winter.
Patrick Smith just 1 foot, another 5-second penalty. This guy never started team rope until 2 years ago.
Their final time, 9 and 7. Shane Sproul now roping with Dugan Kelly.
See this steer stumble? Does an excellent job of just picking up 1 foot, but another guy, 5-second penalty.
It's those little mistakes that keep you out of the semifinals. Chad Masters now roping with Michael Jones.
And we talked about little mistakes, and you got this caliber of competitors here. You can't make any mistakes, and they never made a mistake here with a 4.2.
Next team, good mix of veteran experience and a little bit of inexperience, and it cost him here. Charles Pope, the header, Corey Petska, trying to catch those heels.
See him there, uses 2 loops. They get him down to 14.6.
And the final team, Travis Trine and Matt Zancanella.
We're talking big Matt Zancanella. You can see here, makes a mistake, steer all over the place, having all kinds of problems. He has to rebuild. He's going with another loop. And it's a no time.
Comes up empty, no time for them. So here are the guys that will make it back to the semifinals. Masters and Jones on top, but you notice Pogue and Petska had to rebuild, still got in there, 19 and 5. Their total on 2.
Boy, and this is where experience pays off. I'll tell you what, that's a who's who of the team roping event right there.
As they move to the semis, everybody has a chance. Jack Daniel world standings in team roping, 6-time world champs on top, Speed Williams and Rich Skelton. Steer wrestling world standings, Sean Greenfield moving into the top spot, then it's Soon and Joey Bell. Great lineup.
How about Rope Myers? He's back with a vengeance.
If you're a bronc rider, you'd love to see this guy or hate to see him. Mike Sankey, he's brought his best here. Saddle bronc riding is next. Welcome back to the MGM Grand Garden, the host site for the 2003 Pace-Pecani Pro Rodeo Tour Finale. Here are the results in saddle bronc riding after round number 1. The Canadian Rod Hay on top with an 84.
Boy, he's always tough. Take a look on down the line there. 2nd generation Matt Marvel in there. Also 2nd generationer Mo Forbes.
Charles Swallow, the only guy that didn't make a qualified ride in the first round. Made up for it right here though, kind of.
Kind of, boy, got his hands full. Big sorrel horse. Top gun out of that honeycut bucking string. This is a horse that we've seen Dan Mortensen win that Laughlin Rodeo on earlier this year in just 62 points.
Mo Forbes next. This is Dunny for Mike Sankey.
And a big, strong horse known for throwing the power at you. You can see young Mo Forbes trying to get to the front end here, and he's behind. He's just not getting it done. Has to reach down at that free hand at the end here, and before the 8 seconds goes off, it's a no score.
Steve Dollarhide, hot early in the winter, qualified #2 for this Tour finale.
We talked about it, 1 to 25 and how good you spur on each side, 1 to 25 for how good the horse bucks, so half the deal is on the horse. Here, Steve Dollarhide makes an excellent spur ride, 79 points.
Here's that second generation bronc rider, Matt Marvel.
Big bay horse, Sundown out of that Powder River bucking string. Look at the drop in the front end, and Matt, he gets behind. You got to get them heels, those boots up in the point of that horse's shoulders. Set your feet in the front end. Matt got behind, never did get caught up, and see there, Sundown crashed into the back end of the arena.
71 the score for Matt Marvel. There's Jeffrey Willard, lives in South Dakota. Dippin' Queenie is the bronc from Forco Rodeos.
Boy, and that's bucking horse country, and he's been on this horse before, and Queenie having just an excellent day, and Jeff Willard, the 22-year-old, is setting his feet in that front end, makes a great spur ride, jumps off, and he's going to get a great score for this.
Almost pulled the dismount off. Willard wound up with a score of 86, but after 2, he's the leader, a total of 168. After the ride, he had a chance to talk with Jennifer Smith.
An 82 last night, and this awesome ride tonight. You're set for tomorrow.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I was a little nervous coming into the night, just knowing I have to do good, you know, but I'm glad it all worked out.
Mike Oethier, 2 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, 3rd straight trip to the Winter Tour finale.
Boy, making a good ride here. Horse circles back around to the left, and Mike Oethier just goes for it and gets a big score.
He was solid with an 81. Now to Dan Erickson, cut above from Barty Rodeo as the bronc.
This guy's known for riding ranked bucking horses, been 90 points 2 different times on the world champion Painted Smile out of the Kessler string. Just a nice horse here and just a good score.
Rod Hay, the Canadian, the leader after round number 1.
Golden Leaf Snuff out of the Butler bucking string, circles around here to the left, and Roddy Hay could not make a better spur ride than that. His score is going to reflect it.
He's having a great year. Hay winds up with a score of 87. 13 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Here's his brother-in-law, Glenn O'Neill, the reigning world champion.
Big bay horse here. Circles around to the right, and Glenn O'Neill. Boy, the Canadians have got it going tonight. Sets his feet in the front end. Another excellent bronc ride.
Well, he matches his brother-in-law, Roddy Hay's score with an 87. So Glenn O'Neill, the reigning world champion, in the groove. Second at the moment after 2 heads. You can see that Glenn O'Neill limping back just a little bit, but Roddy Hay kind of enjoying the family moment and rooting for the brother-in-law. Jesse Bale gets at Camp Cook, South Dakota. Great all-around cowboy. But first, here's Jennifer.
You never quite sure know what Desperado's gonna do, if he's gonna rear out and give you a run for your money, do you?
Yeah, I got on him several years ago when Corco's owned him, and he had that big rear out when I had him there, and he hasn't been doing it the last few years, but he had it again tonight, but it kind of helps the score, and that's an outstanding horse for Stacey.
Back to Jesse Bale, the best all-around rough stock cowboy out there. Also rides bulls, probably riding broncs better right now, though, than he is bulls.
Well, you know, Tommy Reeves said Jesse Bale, in his opinion, is the best bronc rider in the world when he's on, and great spur ride and a good score.
Yeah, shows a little of it there. 84 the score for Jesse Bale. No problem moving on to the semifinals. Here's Cody Martin, Hatfield, Arkansas. Dodge City is the bronc.
Out of that Kessler bucking string, and Cody Martin, just too much horse for him here tonight.
He winds up with a no score. And the last cowboy yet to go, another tough Australian cowboy, Scott Johnston.
Goes by the nickname of Tarzan, bareback rider, saddle bronc rider, a big rear out of there, and Scott Johnson, look at this, sets his feet, aggressive bronc ride. He gets paid for it.
Already saw a couple of 87, so Johnston 3rd best in the round with that 86. He's made the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo 5 times in saddle bronc riding, 1 time in bareback riding. So how about the results after 2 rounds? Scott Johnston is hanging right in there. The all or nothing continues in tie-down roping and in barrel racing. Welcome back to the bright lights of Las Vegas. It's the Pace-Pecani Pro Rodeo Tour Finale presented by Las Vegas. Here's what happened in round number 1 in tie-down roping. Trevor Brazil and Justin Moss setting the pace there, 8.1, and you can expect these guys in round 2 really come out, it's all or nothing.
Well, that's right. How about all these world champs here? Cody Ole, Fred Whitfield, and the rookie, Clint Robinson.
Cash Myers kicks things off. Good all-around cowboy from Athens, Texas.
See there, slung it out. But that calf has no horns. It's going to be a no time for Cash.
So in 2 rounds, Cash Myers winds up with 2 no times. Here's Johnny Emmons. 4 times he's qualified for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. First back in 1989. Similar luck as Cash Myers.
That's right. Just didn't get his slack right. And Johnny Emmons, 2 no times in a row here.
Here's the Iron Man, Mike Johnson. 17 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Another guy slings it out there and just doesn't get it around his neck. No times all over the place here in Vegas.
Young Clint Robinson nods his head. Qualified for this tour finale in the 9th spot.
Second generation, his dad Lance Robinson, a many times national finals qualifier, and Clint currently in the lead for the rookie title this year, and this kid's going to be a world champ before he's done.
Now to Brent Lewis, 10 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, $1.2 million in career earnings.
Boy, and this guy is a speedster, and look at the groundwork here in a 7.5. What an excellent run.
Love his style. I can't believe that Brent Lewis has not won a world championship. Cody Ole has. He's won 4. Qualified number 1 in the standings here. Also number 1 right now in the Jack Daniel World Standings.
Well, in golf, we talked about you drive for show and putt for dough, and the tie-down rope, and it's rope for show and tie for the dough, and Cody doesn't get it handled on the ground here, and boy, way too long to get in there deep in the money.
13-4 the time there for Cody Ole. Coy Cummer now lives in Carr, Colorado. First trip to the tour finale.
See there, another guy slings it out there and not getting that rope around their neck. No time.
That will not get you back to the semis. There's Blair Burke, runner-up to the world champion last year. He's made 8 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. He knows what exit you take to get on the road to the Wrangler NFR in Las Vegas.
Oh, when I was a little kid growing up, I was always wanting to be around the guys at the rodeo and stuff, just growing up with the cowboys. And it's something that every little kid looks up to. They pick out somebody and you want to follow in their footsteps. And my dad was one of my heroes, and along with Roy Cooper and many others. Las Vegas is one of the best cities in the world for me. We have a lot of fun here, and the rodeos and the casinos back us. And I'd say National Finals is really good for me a lot of times, but my best run there was a 7 flat, followed by my best buddy Jeff Chapman right behind me with a 6-8. So it was a good night. You're not ever satisfied, but hopefully I'll hit the big jackpot someday.
This may be Blair's year to win a world championship. You can be a part too. For ticket information, go to PRORODEO.com. And here is Blair's run as he tried to get things going here in the Winter Tour finale.
Ran this calf a long ways down the arena. Some trouble on the ground, got him flanked, got him down. 2 wraps and a half pitch. Great work with his hands.
9-5 the time there for Blair Burke. Here's one of his arch rivals, Fred Whitfield, Hockley, Texas, 7-time world champion.
You do not want to put this guy in a pressure situation because he's going to come out on first more often than not. Another good groundwork there.
Whitfield wasn't even in the standings after 5 stops on our Winter Tour, rallied in the last half just to make it to the Winter Tour finale. Here's Ricky Canton, Cleveland, Texas, qualified in the number 6 spot.
Dozen times to the Wrangler National Finals. You see him every year you go there, and Ricky, boy, ran this calf way down the arena. Waspy little 250-pounder, and Ricky 12-1. That's not what he needed.
Trevor Brazil is a wizard with the rope, team roping, steer roping, and tie-down roping.
Boy, this guy knows how to do it. The reigning world all-around champ. with all those first 4 guys missing those calves, these guys just needed to get them caught and get them tied down, and that's what Trevor did.
Put it on cruise control, won over $273,000 last year. And last out, Justin Moss, qualified 7th, but also split first in the first round.
Bowen just need to make a businessman run here. Get him caught, get him tied good and tight, make sure he stays down for the required 6 seconds. That's what Justin did. He's going to get paid for it.
Pretty conservative, 9-4. Here's how they stand after 2 rounds. Moss on top, 17-5. Lurking right there, Fred Whitfield at 18-2. Rodeo also makes it in. Lewis won the round with 7-5. He's with Jennifer.
You talk about rising to the top, almost 2 full seconds ahead, second place, 7.5, amazing.
Well, it turned out that way. Last night I was a little longer than I wanted to be, so I come back at the top of the pin tonight, and it worked to my advantage because I thought it was going to be tough, and I might have changed some, you know, after I seen what happened. But it was a lucky deal. I had a good kiff, and it worked out good.
And we get right to barrel racing. Results from round number 1. Jackie Doobie was smoking in that first round. That 13:28 is a new arena record.
Well, we got some of the greatest barrel racers of all time in there, and Janet Stover, past world champ. She's going to be tough.
Cappy Allen, another past world champion. It starts, though, with Melanie Southard.
Riding this good horse here she calls Snickers. Got to run these barrels in a cloverleaf pattern. You start on either barrel. You can start on the right, and it'll be 1 turn to the right, 2 to the left, or start on that left barrel, 1 turn to the left and 2 to the right. Melanie makes a good run.
Her time, 13:38. This arena, similar to the Thomas Mack and the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, small arena, and it's really a challenge for these horses.
Jackie Doobie had the arena record. She's trying to go to break that arena record. Gets in too tight on these barrels. You knock the barrel over, it's a 5-second penalty. Knocks over 2, that's 10 seconds in penalties. That takes her out of it.
Here's 2-time world champion Sherry Servey.
This lady here known for her riding great horses. In around makes a little wide on that 3rd barrel, but a very respectable time.
Super consistent, 13:47. Now to Lena Bird, Post Texas.
It's in around here, you can see too tight on that 3rd barrel. That hurts not only the pocketbook, that's going to be hard on the knee. 5-second penalty.
Shoulders in there, winds up with a time of 18:78. Leanne Wolf now from New Mexico.
We've seen her win that big Laughlin rodeo on the winter tour earlier this year, and goes in wide on this 3rd. Lays his ears back, and he's running.
13:45. Here's the counselor, Cappy Allen. She's an attorney, lives down in Austin, Texas.
2000 world champ, a former $50,000 bonus winner at the Calgary Stampede. Many-time qualifier for that Wrangler National Finals.
13:75 her time. Darlene Casper, another Texas barrel racer.
Riding her horse she calls Tally, and he gets his head a little bit high here. Got to keep him down in around those barrels. Makes a real good turn on that 3rd.
Through the winter, Tana Papineau is a regular on our rodeo series.
Her and Amigo goes in a little wide on that 1st barrel and gets in real tight on the 2nd, but kept it up. Down around the 3rd, it's a short arena. That's why we're getting some real fast times.
Next to go, Kelly Kaminsky, another Texas barrel racer.
Seen Kelly win San Antonio earlier in the year. Big Gray here, she calls Rocky. 3 excellent turns on the barrels and a great time.
Tammy Key, Ledbetter, Texas.
Won over $80,000 at the Wrangler National Finals in Las Vegas last year. You show up in Vegas this year in December, you're going to get to see her go for the big money again, and she makes 3 good turns here.
Kay Blanford knows what Las Vegas is all about, whether it's the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo or our Winter Tour finale.
Kay just living a dream. I'll tell you, this lady, nobody got a bigger smile in the sport of rodeo. You see that, and she's happy with this run.
Yeah, gets it done on her backup horse. Yave out for the moment, and Janet Stover, the last to go.
And the only 2-time winner on the winter tour this year won Denver and the big rodeo Houston, Janet Stover. I'll tell you, she's another one. You put the pressure on her, she's going to come out on top.
Good effort by Janet Stover, but she would not move on to the semis. Here are the 8 ladies that are moving on. Melanie Southard setting the pace, 26:83. Cappy Allen in the bottom spot. Keep in mind it's all clean slate. Here's Jennifer Smith.
Well, it's no surprise that we would have Melanie right here on the winner's circle. You have just smoked them all winter long. 122 points coming in tonight. You were second last night and won tonight. What has been the key this winter?
Keeping all the barrels up. Let me tell you, it has been a job for me, and just staying relaxed and riding my horse and pushing him past his barrels, and I might make a few mistakes doing it, but heck, he's fast enough to make up for the time. So that's kind of been my goal this year, and just staying real relaxed.
That relaxation paying off for Melanie Southard. As we look at the Jack Daniel World Standings, she's in the top spot.
How about them 2 former world champs, Janet Stover and Cappy Ellen, in there tough?
Saddle Bronc Riding World Standings, Roddy Hay, what a year, 50,000 already in the bank.
2 kids, Jeffrey Willert and Scott Miller, they're having a strong year this year.
And in tie-down roping, the Jack Daniel World Standings, Cody Old, but Fred Whitfield knocking on the door now, not too far behind. One event left. When we come back, bull riding, 8 seconds of fun. Welcome back to the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. It's the Pace Picani Pro Rodeo Tour finale. Jeff Metters along with world champion bull rider Cody Snyder. Here are our Wrangler bullfighters, Shorty Gorham working along with Lance Britton. Big Ryan Rodriguez will be in the barrel. Here's what happened in round number 1. Vince Stanton wins the go-around with an 86, and it's Farrell with an 84, West with an 82, and then a 9-way tie for 4th place.
Well, it's bull riding. That's all part of it. I'll tell you what, you want to get on enough of them, you're going to get bucked off.
So only 3 guys managed to cover in the first round. We kick off round 2. Myron Dworkin grew up in Hawaii, but pretty red-blooded when it comes to riding bulls.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, Reindeer Snuff got it on here from that Flying U bucking string. That bull is awesome today.
The bulls were tough in round number 1. You expect them to stay just as tough in round number 2, and that's what they were. Scott Schiffner now comes from Stettler, Alberta. T-Bar Snuff from Barnes is the bull.
Same bull we've seen Terry Don Westby, 94 points on it to win the championship at Rodeo Houston, and the former Canadian champion. He eats a little bit of Las Vegas dirt here.
And we touched on the fact that Jesse Bale is riding so well in the bronc riding, but struggling just a little bit in his bull riding.
Action Cat out of that Corco bucking string, jumps and kicks and starts around here to the right away from his hand, and Jesse bull stumbles a little bit in the back end, gets him reared back out of there. I'm telling you, this guy has got 0 quit. You cannot try any harder than that, I'll tell you. It's all guts when Jesse Bale gets on.
He's 0 for 2 at the Tour finale, but he is just solid effort when it comes to bull riding. Robbie Condra having a pretty good year on the Extreme Bulls Tour, trying to make that carry over a little bit to this Tour finale.
Dirty white bull out of that Stace Smith Pro Rodeo bucking string. I'll tell you what, this Stace Smith is, we talked about his horses. He's got a great pen of bulls put together also. Robbie Condra couldn't get handled tonight.
Yeah, Condra also 0 for 2. Now to the youngster, Clint Craig, and this guy kind of found the groove here in Las Vegas.
Boy, a contrast to the little bull that we've seen Jesse get on. This bull is a load. Cue ball of the Honeycut bucking string weighs in at 2,100 pounds, and Clint Craig just sticks it on him. Cue ball has as good a day as he can have, and Clint Craig, boy, that's how to get it done.
That's a cool bull, and that is a really classy little bull ride.
You can see him, cue ball started back around there to the left and then just goes to the right. Clint Craig riding up over that front end, making the moves over his head, kicking loose those feet. I've seen this bull buck probably 25, 30 times, and that's as good a day as I've ever seen him have. And the judges liked it as well with a 90-point score for Clint Craig.
Yeah, Clint Craig loved the timing. They both have a great night. 90 points for him, so he racks up some big points here in round number 2. That would move him on to the semis. Terry Don West also thinking about making it to the semis. He's up when we come back. From the MGM Grand Garden Arena, round number 2 of the Pace Pecani Pro Rodeo Tour Finale, presented by Las Vegas, is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey like Jack Daniel's. By Justin Booth, standard of the West since 1879. By Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a proud sponsor of the PRCA. And by Pace, grab Southwest by the bottle. They say it's lonely at the top right now. Clint Craig, the only guy with a qualified ride at this point in the second round. He had that 90 on cue ball. Ryan Brown, though, would join him on that leaderboard.
Hard stuff, just little spotted bull out here and around to the left into his hand. And Ryan Brown, good move there to stay out of going down inside that well. And see here, he gets whistled. Good score.
Yeah,
87.
Craig had that 90, and Ryan Brown not too far behind with that 87.
Just like in the saddle bronc and bareback, we got 2 judges, 1 to 25 on the animal on each side, 1 to 25 on the how good you ride him. Total of 100 points, and Ryan Brown, I'm telling you, digs it down. Bullfighter jumps in, takes the bull out of the spin at the end, and got him rode.
That would move Ryan Brown onto the semis as he scores an 87. Logan Knibbie wanted to get to the semis. He was matched up with 3-spot Snuff, but it was not meant to be.
Boy, and the Birch bucking string, known for those great rank bucking horses, and they got a good bull here. 3 spots. Round there to the left, jumps out of it, gets Logan into his hand, and he just didn't get him handled.
He winds up with a no score. Colby Yates, a great 2002. We'll see if he can kind of kickstart 2003. Matched up here with Dippin' Mr. Biscuit.
Boy, and this kid tore him up at the Wrangler National Final last year in Las Vegas. He's looking to go back, but Mr. Biscuits moves ahead here. Just jerks him down, and Colby has to reach down to that free hand. You can't touch any part of your equipment or that animal with that free hand before the 8 seconds. And unfortunately for Colby, it's no score.
Next up, Tyler Fowler, an Alabama bull rider. Dippin' Bailey from Birch was the bull.
Boy, and another good bull turns back to the right away from his hand. Tyler gets up and out of there. Another no score.
After getting some momentum going, 0 for 3 on the last 3 bull riders. And that's when William Farrell set in. Will Farrell matched up with Snuffmaker. He would make the whistle.
Good spotted bull. We seen this bull at the Guyman Rodeo. They won a lot of money on him there, and Will Farrell's going to win a lot on him here. He's getting out of there, got behind him at the end, and that reflects in the score. You don't want to make a mistake when you're on these kind of bucking bulls. See him here, just around there to the left into his hand, and Will making good moves, but just not giving the big enough move. He gets a little bit behind here. Bull moves forward. You can see Will getting behind here at the end, but the most important part of that is he got the whistle.
You bet, and a qualified ride would qualify you for the semis, so Will Farrell moves on. So in this round, a 90, an 87, and an 80. And now we move to Vince Stanton.
Good little bull here, turns back to the right away from his hand and got Vince behind right from the start. You do not see that very often. That guy is sticky away from his hand.
So after winning the first round, Stanton comes down in round number 2. He still made the semis. And last but not least, Terry Don West on a very ranked bull.
Whoa, and I'm telling you, that is as rank as they can get right there. This bull bucks. This is goes back to the bloodlines of the legendary Oscar, and I'm telling you, that is as rank a bull as I've seen all year. All you can say is wow right here.
It's not easy to get Terry Don West on the ground, and Werewolf does it in a hurry, and that horn hitting him right in the chest.
Good thing for that vest there.
They have changed the game, and you can see Terry Don, the Justin Sports Medicine team, would have to go to work on him to get him set for the semifinals, which was less than 24 hours away. Here are the totals after the first 2 rounds. Will Farrell, the only cowboy that covers 2 bulls. Clint Craig with a big 90. And it's Ryan Brown, Vince Stanton, and Terry Don West. The other guys get in by their pre-finale rankings. And now it's time for our Coors Original Extreme Rides. We back up to the beginning of this go-around. It's Clint Craig, and I love this bull, cue ball.
Boy, this bull is massive, 2,100 pounds, and Clint Craig, 150-pounder, and I'm telling you, scratching, clawing, digging it down. Open up, spurring him at the end. That's as good as it can get right there. Just a phenomenal ride.
Big bull, little bull rider, big score. Glenn Craig is with Jennifer Smith.
This was kind of double your pleasure tonight. You didn't have a ride last night. You had to do good tonight, and then 90 points on cue ball.
Yeah, I knew to get back tomorrow. I knew I had to ride and make a good ride. And that bull, I knew I could be 90 on him, so I just tried to bear down and give it all I had, and everything worked out right.
Jack Daniel World Standings, Terry Don West on top. Can anybody catch him?
Well, almost 100,000. I said at the start of the year, if he stays healthy, he's going to be the world champ.
And with that, we put the winter tour in our rear view mirror and set our sights on the summer. Our next stop will be the Reno Rodeo out in Reno, Nevada. Always a wild rodeo. Join us on Sunday, August 17th at 7 Eastern right here on OLN. For more on the tour, our television schedule, and how you can be a part of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, just go to PRORODEO.com. For Cody Snyder and Jennifer Smith, I'm Jeff Metters. Thanks for joining us here in Las Vegas. We'll see you as the summer unfolds right here on the Outdoor Life Network.